Welcome to Flawless Shoe Reviews. Now when it comes to Nike shoes for walking, it can be an absolute minefield. That's why I've simplified the process for you and just chosen the top 3 shoes that you can use, whether it's for everyday use or whether you have a job that involves walking and standing for long periods of time. So when we look at our 3 options, I wanted to first put in the Nike Winflo 11. Now, not only is this an excellent option because it sits under $100, but it's also got some excellent cushioning underneath your foot as well with the cushioning 3.0. So it's a relatively balanced cushioning, so when you apply pressure to it, you sink into it and provides real comfort when you're standing and when you're walking. There's 35 mils of cushion in the rear foot, 25 in the forefoot, giving you a 10 mil difference from the back to the front of the shoe. So if you have any issues around your Achilles tendon, it can be helpful to have a higher drop like this as it helps to offload it. However, if you stand for long periods of time, it's just important to be aware that it can put extra pressure on the front of your foot. However, it should be mitigated by the fact that the cushioning is relatively soft and relatively balanced. As we move up the shoe, it's got some stability features on the inside with a sidewall and the outside as well, and it's got a relatively broad base of support. So it's still a classic neutral shoe, but it's got some stability features, and therefore we usually classify it as a classic neutral walking shoe. On top we've got an engineered mesh, we've got plenty of space in the toe box, and it's true to size and length. It's got nice padding around the tongue to help with a nice lockdown, and it's gusseted, which means it's stitched in. It's good to stop any debris coming in, and also it stops the tongue from moving side to side. It's got lots of padding around the heel cup, and it's relatively soft around the heel counter, so those of you with sensitivity at the back of the heel should find this relatively comfortable. So overall it's an excellent shoe if you want a shoe on the cheaper range for Nike but has still good cushioning, really comfortable, and an excellent option if you want to go for long walks or if you want to use a shoe for standing for long periods of time. Then we can look at the Nike Structure 25. So this is more of a stability shoe in the Nike range and probably the main stability shoe. So underneath your foot you've got the Cushline 3.0 cushioning as well, so it's a little bit softer than what we see in the Winflo 11, and that's mainly because you've got a little bit extra cushioning underneath. So you have 37 mils of cushioning in the rear foot, 27 in the forefoot, giving you also a classic 10 mil drop. So you have a couple of mils extra in the heel and in the forefoot, and you do really notice it when you're walking and when you're standing. The extra cushion in the rear helps absorb that vibration and impact. Like we saw in the Winflo, it helps to offload the back of the ankle and can put extra pressure on the forefoot. The stability features include an arch support, so if you're someone that enjoys having direct arch support underneath the middle of the foot, you might enjoy the Structure 25. It's also got a heel clip that runs around the back of the ankle that wraps around the ankle. It helps to keep it nice and stable when you initiate contact with the ground, helping to control those pronation moments in conjunction with the arch support. It's got a broad base of support, and it's got some sole flare, so that's where the sole comes out wider than where your foot sits in the shoe. That provides extra elements of stability, focusing on keeping your foot centered in the shoe as you move. As we move up the shoe, we've got a nice wide toe box as well, slightly wider than what we see in the Winflo 11. It's a true to size and length, and you've got a nice gusseted padded tongue as well. You've got some padding around the heel cup, not as much as what we see in the Winflo 11, but ample cushioning for the majority of the population. We've got a stiff heel counter coupled up with that heel clip, again helping to control that ankle motion when you initiate contact with the ground. So if you're someone who enjoys some arch support, who needs a little bit of extra stability in their shoe and wants a comfortable shoe for walking and standing all day, then the Nike Structure 25 can be an excellent option for you. Then if you're looking for a max stack, max cushion shoe, look no further than the Nike Vomero 18. It's an excellent addition to the Nike range, and it's going to replace the Nike Invincible 3, and that's why we didn't include it in this list. So we've got a mixture of cushioning in this. We've got the Zoom X cushioning that we see in the high-end running shoe, and we've got the React X cushioning, which is a little bit softer. So when you apply pressure to it, you really sink into it. It's a bit of a bouncy feel. It's not too squishy or mushy like we see in some other shoes like the New Balance 1080. So it's nice and balanced, a little bit softer than the other 2 shoes, and it's got a lot more cushioning underneath your foot. So there's 44 mils of cushioning in the rear foot, 34 in the forefoot. So that's nearly 9 mils more of cushioning in the rear foot than we see in the Winflo 11. And with the blended midsole of the React X and the Zoom X, it's a lot softer, a lot springier, and a lot bouncier. So if you're looking for a really comfortable ride, then the Vomero 18 is an excellent option. It's got some stability features with some small sidewalls on the inside and on the outside of the shoe, and a nice broad base of support, but it's what we classify as the typical neutral trainer. When we move up the shoe, we've got a relatively broad base of support in the toe box, so plenty of space for your toes to display. It's true to size and length, and we've got nice padding around the tongue as well, like the other 2 shoes that's gusseted as well. It has a moderate amount of cushioning around the heel cup, so it's sufficient for those of you who need extra comfort and padding around there, and it's got a nice pull-on tab as well. One of the downsides of this shoe is it can be a little bit unstable due to the softer cushioning. If you're someone who struggles with any ankle instability, you may not enjoy this as much as you would enjoy the extra stability that you get in the Structure 25. But overall, it's a fantastic shoe. It can be used as a lifestyle shoe for walking, and it's also an excellent running shoe. All three of them can also be used for running if you want to have shoes that are interchangeable for lifestyle, walking and for running. However, if you want a more focused running shoe, then the Vomero 18 is probably your best option. So we've got links to all three shoes in the description below if you want to check out the latest prices on them. Otherwise, if you have any questions on all three shoes, please drop it in the comment section below. Like and sharing and subscribing does make a massive difference to the channel if you found the video helpful. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.